Yeah, turn off the
Song without words for Shabbat. Lie, lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, 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 lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, 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 lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, 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 lie. Here we go. Lie, lie, la, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, 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 lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 la, 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 lie.
Somebody there with Caleb and Zoe. That isn't
Shabbat
Mary at all.
Shalom. The seasons are clearly a reflection of a divine plan. The spring brings with it longer days, new life, signs of hope. The summer is a time of the sun's warmth and gratefulness for a cool drink or a breeze. The autumn gives way to bursts of color, harvest time, and the smell of something baking in the oven. Come the winter, as the chill stings our cheeks, we yearn for days gone by. But a winter Shabbat begs us to slow down, to take stock, to take a nap. A winter Shabbat invites us to marvel at a blanket of snow, to wonder if this is God's handiwork, to become reacquainted with ourselves, with our faith, with the divine presence. Oh, to have a Shabbat in winter. We continue with Tov Lehodot.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. On this the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you'll always be surrounding me. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. My spirit takes release. I close my eyes in peace, and from my soul heard far above springs a song of love. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. I wish to understand the לשמך עליון.
As we are welcoming Shabbat, we invite you to use the chat box to send in your Shabbat Shalom greetings and to let us know where you are joining us from. My beloved is mine, and I am my beloved's. We continue with Dodi Lee on page 129.
תודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. תודי לי מי זאת עולה מן המדבר. מי זאת עולה מן המדבר. תודי לי, תודי לי, ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. תודי לי מכותרת מור, מור ולבונה, מור ולבונה. תודי לי, תודי לי, תודי לי, ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. תודי לי, ליבבתיני, אחותי קלה. ליבבתיני, אחותי קלה. תודי לי, תודי לי, ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. תודי לי.
We continue our welcome of Shabbat with Lecha Dodi beginning on page 138. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And for our final verse, I invite you to rise and face a door in the room that you're in to symbolically welcome in the Shabbat presence.
דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, דקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, דקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, דקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונחה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה. toreri, toreri, kiva orech, kumiori, uri, uri, shilda beri, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla, aydadai lecha dodi, aydadai lekrat kala, aydadai b'nei Shabbat, aydadai nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. איי די די לך דודי, איי די די לקראת קלה, Shabbat, ay day day nekabela, ay day day lechadodi, ay day day lekrat kala, ay day day b'nei Shabbat, ay day day nekabela.
You may be seated. We continue with Shalom Aleichem, the guiding angels accompanying us home for Shabbat on page 142.
Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Halachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Halachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. La 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 la. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mimelech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mimelech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We continue welcoming Shabbat into our presence with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. Tomorrow morning, Sam Bellis will be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah, and we are thrilled to have Sam and his family participate with us tonight, reading on page 120 before we light the Shabbat candles. And if there has been something that has brought light to your life this week, we invite you to share that with us in the chat box so that we can all share your light with you and thereby increase the light. Sam?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
And then,
Okay.
ready? Done. Candles.
I don't think they see them.
Can they see the candles?
There you go.
There we go.
Do it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
A couple of things that people have shared in the chat box about what has brought light to their family. We have a mazel tov to Brooke and Sam on their upcoming B'nai Mitzvah, and the Barkans shared that their son, their grandson was accepted at George Washington University, his first choice school. Mazel tov to everyone for all those special moments.
And mazel tov to everyone who is being called to the Torah tomorrow as a bar or bat mitzvah. We continue on page 144 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בכל מועד יברך חירותי, ויומלך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם מעולמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה, בריחו לעילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דעם יהירן בעלמה, ויאמרו Amen.
Our worship continues with the Baruch Hu on page 146. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach La'olam Va'ed.
We continue together on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'irim, uvitvuna mishenei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmeroteim barakia kirtzono, Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tziva'ot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yamloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Yam bye bye bim bim bam, yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bye bye bim bim bam, yabba bye bye bim bam. I da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bam. I da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bam. Mihi chamocha bailim Adonai, mihi kamocha nedar bakodesh, norat hilot o sefele, norat hilot o sefele. Yam bye bye bim bim bam, yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bye bye bim bim bam, yabba bye bye bim bam. I da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bam. I da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bam.
Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote, 6 days a week, we wrestle with the world, wringing profit from the earth. On Shabbat, we especially care for the seed of eternity planted in the soul. The world has our hands, but our soul belongs to someone else. 6 days a week, we seek to dominate the world. On the seventh day, we try to live at peace with it.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. הניעו בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם Otam Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Ki Shishet Yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue with our central portion of prayer, the Amidah, the standing prayer, beginning on page 164. Please rise if you are able.
Adonai sifata tiftach ufi agiti latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'nehem, Lema'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor L'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv Haruach, Umorit HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Bichamocha Baal Givurot, Umidah Melach, Melech Mimit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
God of goodness, We give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulcha na'eh lehodot. You may be seated. We take a moment now for the prayers of our hearts.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והיו ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי Adonai Tzuri
During our silent prayer, our thoughts may have turned to those who are sick, those who need extra healing of mind, body, and spirit. If you are thinking of a loved one or a close friend, I invite you to share their name in the chat box so we can pray for their refuah shlema, a full renewal of body and spirit. Mishaberach, Avotenu v'imotenu, Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. Our community this evening thinks of Gabby Kraft Buckman, Aaron Taylor, Susan Robb, Linda Rabino, Arlene Furman, Rabbi Rob Nastenchuk, Neil Silverman, Susan Klein, Don Hirsch, Martin Ostroff, Sharon Neese, Pearl Weitzman, Summer Critter, Mason Rockmore, Larry Maslow, Perry Shellman, Andy Secoritas Diori, Joyce Kagan, Gloria Ostracher, Ina Bat-Velvel Draymond, Scott Goldberg, Rena Goslin, Emil Vogel, Kathy Murphy, Betsy Miller, Mark Goldstein, Aviva Khanna, Mary Ann Stahl, Allison Tischler, Dean Rossi, Stephen Brudage, Betty Moore, Madison Mosher, Robin Fisher Solis, Phyllis Brown, Joel Rosenthal, Stephen Wasser, Rick Griggs, Elaine Michaels, and Melissa Bear. We also add the names of Henry, Laura, and Sharon, Amy Lederer Shapiro, David Lazar, the Jolene family, and Joel Shapiro. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. We are going to continue our service with the words of Kiddush. It is my great honor to invite our bat mitzvah for tomorrow, Brooke Befferman. Brooke has been waiting a long time for this day, and we're so glad that it is finally here. One of our last bat mitzvahs that has been postponed because of COVID, and I can't wait to stand with you and your family on this bima as you lead our congregation tomorrow. So I invite you to rise and turn to page 123 for the words of Kiddush.
Yeah, we have this. No, how does it
Baruch atah Adonai.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Baruch atah Adonai Elohim. Oh, sorry. Baruch atah Adonai.
Eloheinu melech
Wait, no.
haolam.
Pray Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kichanu b'mitzvotav. B'tzivayim. Beresah. Kodesh.
Oy.
Final. I can't see. Okay, better. Okay. Hazen Elohim. Sorry. Hanukkah. I know, but now I'm on the spot. Okay.
I'll help you. It's a little hard when we're not here together. So let's sing it together, Brooke, all right? We'll start from the top. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'afel.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim, Brooke. Amen.
Chaim, Sam, and Brooke, we are thrilled that you are becoming a B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow. You have both worked so hard for this really special moment in your life. I know there are many people on this Shabbat service from your family that are wishing you all the best. Our congregation is wishing you all the best on this day tomorrow. And so, as we are not, while we are not here together, I feel the love on our Zoom screen for the two of you. And our wishes is that you're not just a bar and bat mitzvah tomorrow, but each and every day of your life, shining your goodness, your kindness to this world. We are lucky that the two of you will be carrying on our Jewish tradition. You may be seated. I want to wish you all a happy 9th night of Hanukkah. So you may be looking at someone on the Zoom screen or someone in your home and asking, has Rabbi Prosnit lost it? Hanukkah is only 8 nights. There are not 9 nights of Hanukkah. And you would be right. I have not lost it, but there are only 8 nights. But in a year where everything has been a little topsy-turvy, or the word of the year, unprecedented, and extremely challenging, why not celebrate an extra night of Hanukkah? When I lit the Hanukkah out in my house yesterday with my family, the glow and the heat of the candles brought so much joy and warmth to our home. It was a feeling that I wanted to continue to hold on to, especially this year. I'm sure many of you felt the same way. And I'm not the only one thinking about adding a 9th night of Hanukkah. Author Erica Pearl wrote the children's book aptly named The 9th Night of Hanukkah. And she writes, "This year we should start a new tradition and extend Hanukkah from 8 to 9 nights. The reason? To honor the helpers. The 9th branch of the Hanukkah is reserved for a special candle, the shamash. The shamash is used to light the other candles, one on the first night, an additional one each subsequent evening, until all 9 burn on the 8th and final night. But think about it. The shamash is so busy giving its light to others that it never gets its own night to shine. And isn't 2020 the perfect year to start an annual Hanukkah tradition of honoring the people who, like the shamash, give of themselves to help others? There are special rules about the shamash candle. In Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, a book written in simple Hebrew to teach Jews how to follow certain halakha, we learn about specific laws about this candle. During the time the Hanukkah candles are burning in fulfillment of the mitzvah, it is forbidden to have any benefit from their light. It is the custom, therefore, to place the shamash near them so that if you use the light for any personal purpose, you will be using the light of the shamash. You must place the shamash a little higher than the other lights so that it is recognized that it is not the one of the required number of lights. So we learn that the shamash is not necessary for commemorating the miracle of Hanukkah. It is not necessary for marking each day of the festival of lights. But instead, it is there to not only help light the candles each night, but also give light for people to use for their own personal needs. The shamash has dual purpose. It works hard. It is there to help. It is there to provide. And it usually is not recognized for its work. So tonight, let's thank the shamashim in our world for their tireless dedication, for healthcare and long-term care workers, from personal support workers to heads of public health, to researchers, to pharmacists at the front lines of the pandemic, caring for the most ill and vulnerable members of our communities. Thank you. For grocery store, supply chain, food and retail, hospitality and service workers, often working for minimum wage, showing up day in and day out to keep society functioning, storing shelves, making shelves full, and delivering vaccines. We thank you. For teachers, feeding our students' minds and souls in ways different from any lesson plan of years past, online and in person, often counseling anxious students through the pandemic, all the while sustaining the future. Thank you. for volunteers delivering meals, groceries, goods to those in need, walking dogs and checking at-risk neighbors. Thank you. For our own Temple Emanu-El building staff, making sure our classrooms are clean, our Zooms look good, our building is safe and ready for our return. Thank you. On this night of Hanukkah, we thank the Shamishim in our communities. As Rabbi Appel shared in his Yom Kippur sermon, may we recognize them more this year, know their stories, thank them, and appreciate all that they do. There is a Hasidic teaching about the Shamish's usual placement above the rest of the Hanukkah candles. The Shamish is the candle that serves others. In the Hasidic court, the Shamish was the person who attended to the personal needs of the Rebbe. A glance at the Hanukkah configuration tells of the rewards that doing for others brings. Because the Shamish lowers itself to serve the others, it ends up with an exalted position on the Hanukkah. May we continue to raise up our Shamishim, not only this year, during this pandemic, but each year, even when our world becomes a bit more normal. And so I turn to our Shamishim tonight. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kinshanu l'haligner shel shamashim, shehamichnasdim otanu bezman hazeh. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who sanctifies us as we light the light symbolizing the Shamishim, the helpers, who strengthen us in our daily lives. And together we say, Amen. We continue our service on page 586. I invite you to rise for the words of Elena.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשונו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. Page 591. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. And together we say, Amen.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was a gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, what death has touched. In this period of Shloshim, we remember those members of our community who have died in the last 30 days. Aaron Lutwack, husband of Alice, Maureen Morris, mother of Lily Fryer, Lorraine Glynn, sister of Tanya Wellen, David Seltzer, father of Lawrence, Theodore Perlman, father of Jody Gunsberg, Michael Garlock, father of Jeremy, Evelyn Harriet Gollump, mother of Joanne Pass, and Paul Katz, father of Marla Radis. If you are remembering a loved one tonight, I invite you to write their name in the chat box and their relation to you. We also remember the yahrzeit, the anniversary of our loved ones' deaths. Shirley Backer, Edward J. Bain, Clarence Berenson, Betty Berkowitz, Jack Bernstein, Solomon Birnbaum, Jacob Bonk, Charlotte Brecher, Sophie Brotman, Jeffrey Cohen, Samuel Alphonse, Abraham Epstein, Harry Feldman, Saul Fenichel, Sadie Freeland, Sheila Frost, Hyman Furman, Ronnie Fuderin, Gloria Glickman, Maurice Gold, Molly Greenwald, Lenore Gumaris Grover, Malka Gruscott, Anita Schuster-Gumnim, Leonard Hammer, Sandra Hertz, Paul Hoffman, Jerry Isaacs, May Colton, Marilyn Lamb, Ronald Lehrer, Doretta Levine, May Levy, Lena Loeb, Jack Minkoff, Leo Moss, Nathan Muroff, Carol Pizer, Stephen Plotnick, Shirley Posner, Ruth Postalnick, Benjamin Rosenblum, Malvine Rosner, Liaz Rothschild, Abraham Rubin, Simon Salmon, Seymour Sander, Morris Schechner, Lawrence Schupak, Erwin Schwartz, Marvin Scher, Beatrice Shaw, Leon Schrank, Manuel Silverstone, Beatrice Solomon, Richard Steibel, Rose Steinfeld, Stanley Zoltzman, Eileen Tarnowski, Frida Thau, Bernice Toblonsky, Golda Barron, Rebbe Victor, Ben Weil, Abraham Wellen, and Max Wolfson. As one community, we turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, found on page 598. I invite you to rise. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivarach yirutei b'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'yisman kariv yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam amei amaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Le'elam mikol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. V'amiran v'yama v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah mid shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mrolam. Ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and all who mourn, and comfort the bereaved, as together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you again for joining us tonight. This is the first time that we are using our live streaming capabilities in our sanctuary. I think we have to work on which cameras to look at. But they didn't teach that in cantorial or rabbinic school. So we'll get the hang of it in a few moments, but thank you to our Zoom operators, and thank you for joining us and helping us inaugurate this live streaming, which is really awesome and will bring a lot to our community. So there's not much happening this week. We had a great Hanukkah as a community. There's Bible class on Tuesday. There's Shabbat morning minyan and Holy Scrollers tomorrow as well. We'll be back here on Zoom next Friday for Shabbat. You can eat your Chinese food when you are joining us for Shabbat. And then on January 1st as well, bring your noisemakers or anything that you would like for those Shabbat experiences. There's Simchat Shabbat next Saturday too. We wish you a wonderful night of Hanukkah, and we'll conclude our service, Cantor, with
Gesher Tsar Ma'od. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. והעיקר, לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל. לי, 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 לי,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Please feel free to
Shabbat
unmute
Shalom,
yourselves and wish
everyone.
each other Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Leave is up there for the left.
I know. All right, let's do it.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Stay healthy.
Shalom.
I don't know if you can
Shabbat
unmute yourself,
shalom.
but we'll work on that for next week. So have a
Shabbat
wonderful
shalom.
Shabbat.
Why not?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.